Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 7 of the Emo Entrepreneur. Today, I have my guest, Jessica Rom, on the pod. I'm so excited. Jessica has been in the beauty industry for over 2 decades. She started as a 23-year-old solo SD in the Silicon Valley and quickly grew her practice into a very successful six-figure business, then expanded it into a multiple six-figure day spa. What's her secret? A genuine love for people and smart business systems that keep clients coming back. In 2018, she took a break to focus on her family and her health, but her passion for aesthetics never left her. In 2021, she launched Solo Esthetician Love on Instagram, which I'm sure many of you have seen. That's how I found her, where she created a vibrant community for all of us solo estheticians. She is all about sharing her real tips, fostering a supportive environment, and helping fellow estheticians thrive. She's known for her transparency, authenticity, and a bit of blunt honesty, all in the very best way possible. Jessica's mission is to unite solo estheticians and help them build successful, impactful businesses. So I want to welcome you, Jessica, to the pod. I am so excited to finally have you on today. So welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. It's such an honor to be here. And I love getting to watch you grow and shine as you step into your greatness. It's such a beautiful thing to witness. So thank you for having me.
Of course, of course. I would love to go back to the very humble beginnings of where you kind of started. What brought you to even having your first day spa?
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, getting into the aesthetics industry for one thing was a little bit of a roundabout way for me. Basically, I went to college and I just kind of like majored in partying and didn't think about what was going to happen after that. And as I was a senior, I was like, oh man, I don't want to actually do anything that my degree is in. I don't want to become a psychologist. I don't want to become a social worker. I don't want to do any of this. And what I always loved was, just like doing beauty things on all my friends. So doing their makeup, giving them little facials, doing whatever. And that's when I was like, okay, I think this is where I'm supposed to be. And so I graduated college, went straight into beauty school, had I'll just say a bad first experience at a day spa. And I was at this crossroads at that point of, okay, do I find another position at a day spa? Or do I go out and start my own thing? I always knew that I eventually wanted to have my own business, but I thought, hey, I'm going to work in the industry for a while and then I'll start it. So, hey, I was 9 months licensed. I had this opportunity to start my own business. It was such a sweet deal. I had an opportunity to go into an established salon. I could rent a room on commission first and then switch over to an actual rent. I was really young, but it was like, this is an amazing opportunity. I decided if it doesn't work out in 6 months, I'll go find a job somewhere else. The rest is history. Like it just kind of, I feel like I fell into the perfect career for myself. And I don't think I even knew how perfect it was going to be when I chose it. Um, and it's just been such a joy to be able to work with clients, have intimate connections, relationships with people, but then also really help. I know that what we do might look purely elective and luxury because it is,
Mhm.
but most people are coming for their beauty services for a deeper reason. It's not just like, oh, I just need to get it done. It's for most of us, self included, it's tied to some aspect of self esteem, of self worth, of feeling confident. These are all emotional reasons. And that for me, that's why I do this. I want to help people, not just, look in the mirror and say, like, oh my God, I'm amazing. I do want that. But I want people to have that feeling completely. And that comes with a regulated nervous system. It comes with having someone to listen to have your needs listened to, body needs, skin needs, whatever, listened to and met. It's being a soft place to land for people to land and fall. So being an esthetician has been everything to me. So, getting back to your question, I was a solo esthetician for 3 years. I grew very fast. And at that point, I was only 26. And I thought, well, the next step, I must step into a day spa. I've got to like expand into a day spa. Never really considering that there were other options. And so I grew a day spa and I brought on amazing employees. I think I got very lucky and attracted some of the most amazing, heart-centered, nurturing estheticians. And luckily, during that time, my health started to really plummet. And so I was grateful to have an amazing team around me because I really had to pull back more and more and more out of the treatment room as my body started to shut down. And ultimately, I left the industry. I left a thriving business. Like, let me tell you, it was so hard to walk away from a steady income, from a happy clientele, from happy employees. But I was burned out. Like, it wasn't I was burning out, I was burnt out. Like, I was dead in the water. And so I had to go home and just rehabilitate myself. And luckily, I have, however many years later. But I feel like I have a very cautionary tale about entrepreneurship. And I know that so much of my story makes sense in hindsight, but I think that that's so that I can talk to other estheticians, especially newer estheticians, to hopefully help you guys from making the same mistakes that I did. So I feel like if I had found myself 20 years ago, I would have had a completely different story arc. I could have had a completely different trajectory to my career, but I didn't. And here I am. And I would rather just help you guys. So
Yeah. It's crazy. I was actually talking to one of my clients the other day. I mean, just trauma dumping on each other as we normally do.
as we do.
Yes. I mean, sometimes you just have those clients and you're comfortable in such a space to be like, okay, we can both like accept this from each other right now. Like we're in a good space to
Yes,
hear about things.
for sure.
And I was talking to them about just how I was feeling about how I've been feeling about business right now. And I'm like, as I'm like, doing facial massage on her, and I'm like, I feel like I was put here to fail, but not in a bad way. I was like,
Hmm.
I feel like I was put here to do so many things to essentially fail at a ton of business things, at personal things, life development things,
Yep.
to be able to help others and teach others the way. Um,
Jenna, what's your human design? Remind me.
I'm a generator. I'm a 6-3.
Ah ha ha. Okay. Yes, all of the six and all of the three. That's all the mistakes. And so I relate to that hardcore. I'm a 3-5. The three is all about the learning through mistakes, learning through failure. For me, it's like I get to, with the five, I get to take that to the masses and share that, the practical solutions learned through my mistakes. Um, you just get to like be the example for everybody of like, hey guys, here's how you do it. Like, I'm your role model, so learn from the good and the bad. Take it or leave it. I,
It's
I know I just kind of jumped us into human design, but human design has been absolutely pivotal for me in turning my business around and creating a business that works with my energetic makeup so that I'm not burning myself out. And that's actually one of the hugest things I learned from human design is in my businesses in the past, I was trying to work like a generator, which I mean, I'm sure there are people that don't know what that means. But basically, in human design, there's different energy types, and like there's four main buckets that we can fall into. And it's like how energy processes through you. And so generators are just like, once you've got something you like doing, you're lit up about, you're like, you're the energizer bunny. You can just make stuff nonstop. You don't stop. That, you get that. Me,
what
I don't have like an energy source. I am a projector. So I'm just like, I have the 30,000 foot view. I'm seeing the big picture, but like, I'm not supposed to be a doer. I'm supposed to be an advisor, like an observer and not a doer. So human design has been massive for me. And that's what I get to do in my role now. I'm not doing the treatments, I'm not doing the stuff, but I'm helping you guys because I can see it. It's like one of the things it's a gift of mine. Like I can just see a business, any situation, and I just know what's missing to make it better. It's actually, that's part of my human design. It's written there. Anyway, that's a human design tangent. Is there anything you wanted to add to that, Jenna?
Well, I mean, we can keep going on human design. I mean, it really is such an eye opener. I mean, for anybody who doesn't know human design, it's not just your astrological sign. It's so much deeper than that. Please Google it. Get your reading done. It
Yeah, I would invite you guys actually to go to my friend, my one of my SE besties, Michaela McLean. You can go to her website. It's MIKAELAMACLEAN.com. Ooh, proud of myself for that.
we'll put it in the show
Um,
notes.
Perfect. Or on Instagram, she's got free charts and they're like super in depth. And she gives the most like consumable, understandable explanations of human design. Like I've been trying to learn human design for years until like we became friends. And now I'm like, I get it. I totally get it. It's all because of her. Yeah.
Yeah, the way she breaks down everything is just so magical. I mean,
Yeah.
she really
Well,
is
and
an
it,
angel on earth.
she is. And like her design is like she's just here to like help people love themselves. And like she is so pure of spirit, of heart. Like I have to coach her as an entrepreneur sometimes. Like, Michaela, you can't give everything away for free. Like you have to run a business. But yeah, it's absolutely incredible. And it helps me to coach people. Because if I know certain things about someone's design, like if I know someone's a projector like me, I'm not going to be telling them to be in the treatment room for 9 hours a day. Are you
Yeah.
kidding? Like that's fast track to burnout.
Mhm. Do
Nope.
you find that ever since learning about your human design and kind of connecting with that, that you, I don't know, are kind of like on a energetically happier level? Like, do you feel just
Yes.
more yourself? You're just like, yes, this is
Yep.
exactly what I've been needing to do the whole time.
Yes. And the thing with human design is there's nothing about it that's like, I never knew that about me. It's everything about human design is confirmation of what I already knew.
Mhm.
And what it's given me is permission to just unabashedly follow my energetic design. So,
Yeah.
like working like an Energizer bunny, that is not for me. Like,
Mhm.
I need time to just like literally like float around in my pool and think about stuff. Because that's how I connect dots. Like, that's how I get the massive ideas. Like, that's how I get ideas about you. Like, I'm just just sitting around doing nothing but thinking. I'm like, oh my gosh, Jenna should totally, do X, Y, or Z. Like I have to be able to like chill. And so for
Mhm.
me, I grew up in a household full of generators who are always going a million miles an hour and then telling me I'm lazy.
Right.
So it's like learning human design. It's like I got to um, say I'm sorry to Jessica, little Jessica of the past, and say I'm sorry that nobody understood you and like was telling you that you were wrong this whole time. I'm going to tell you now that you're absolutely perfect just the way you are. So it's given me it's just given me permission to kind of like let go of the past and like the mistakes of the past and then just embrace wholeheartedly who I am now. And if anyone challenges me on it, I get to say to them like I love that for you and I know that works so well for you and for me it's just not the right fit.
Mhm. Yeah, I
It's very
totally.
empowering.
It really is. It's like you said, it gives you that comfort, that confirmation that it's okay to be 100% yourself and to not fight your gut
Yes.
feelings on what you need to be doing. Um,
Yes.
and so ever since finding that and also talking with you over, I mean, however, what is it, almost 2 years, I think that
Oh my
um,
gosh, it's
time,
crazy. Yeah.
time just flies. That I'm just
Time
like being
flies.
coached by you and everything. It really is. I think I was fighting when I first started my business. I feel like I was fighting myself so
Yeah.
hard because I was like trying to find who I wanted to serve as a clientele. And of course, when you start your business, you're like, well, I need to make money. I need to pay my bills. So who do I want to be in my chair? Oh, I want the rich people. I want this certain type of person. But then those people are coming in. I'm like, this doesn't feel right. Like, I
Yep.
don't know. It was also me, I guess me coming to terms with myself and trying to learn to be okay in a space where I also didn't feel like I felt in a lot of the
Mhm.
time. So trying to kind of uh, I don't know, take bits and pieces from other estheticians and be like, oh well, their room like looks like this, they dress like this, they
Yes.
do these treatments, and it's like it was so confusing too because I came into the aesthetics field like kind of late. I think I was 27 or 28 when I graduated aesthetic schools, and so I already felt out of place. I've already been the black sheep my entire life of everything I've ever been in. Um, and
Mhm.
so it was just like more of that, and it almost felt like I regressed back to like being in that child headspace, right? Like I don't fit
Totally.
in here, I'm not good enough, like this isn't working, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. And then I found you, and it was like, oh my God, I need to do so much interpersonal work and really figure out like, why am I doing this? Like, who do I
Yes.
want my business to be for? And it's almost like I
Yes.
wanted my business to be for almost like who I was when I was younger, right? Have a safe space for people to feel confident and comfortable and make them feel like the badass bitches that they are. And so, over time,
Amen.
yeah, over time it just kind of like I mean, it's obviously been a very slow burn. It doesn't happen overnight, but
No.
kind of figuring out, all the basics of your business, but it's also the basics of yourself. Like if you don't know yourself, your business is gonna fucking fail. Like it's just not gonna
Yep.
happen. You're gonna be fighting yourself the entire time. So it really is, I mean, entrepreneurship is like you say, it's like the biggest personal development course you could ever take in your life. It's fucking hard.
Yep.
You're gonna cry. You're gonna want to pull your fucking hair out. You're gonna want to quit. But it's like if you quit
Yep.
that, you're quitting yourself too. At least that's what it
Yep.
feels like for me. Like my business is me. It's an extension of me. And
Yep.
so refuse. I refuse to quit. And I don't know. I don't even know how I got here from human design.
Well,
Tangents go. I don't know.
I
Yeah. Well,
you are just such a perfect living example, I think, of everything I try to teach, in my course, Profit on Purpose, which is y- y- I say this all the time. Your business is the biggest personal development course you will ever take. And so wherever you get stopped in life, you will get stopped in business. Where you get stopped in business, that's also where you're getting stopped in life. So these things, if you want to bust past them, you got to work through them. And so I think a lot of us come to businesses thinking like, I just need to learn business facts. I need to learn what this means or what that means. And once I know that, then I'll do well in business. And honestly, it's almost never that. It's
yeah.
almost always something inside of yourself that's holding you back. Whether you're afraid to take an action, you're going in the wrong direction, you're not taking enough action, who knows what it is, but it's something inside of us. And also, again, like you're such a beautiful example of all of this, because again, I think most of us come to our solo esthetician careers never having had a business before, coming at it because I love being an esthetician and I want to be able to do my craft the way that I want to do it and not someone else's. So I'm going to become a solo esthetician. It's not because we have these massive entrepreneurial skills and backgrounds. And so when we come, I think most of us, myself included, think, well, I need to do the esthetician thing, as if there's one box, there's one thing that we do. And so, I was offering all these services that I didn't want to do, but other people were offering. I based my pricing just like, well, it's around what other people are doing. I'll make it a little less. Or, what are other products are people using? Well, that was a different scenario for me because I had to go into an existing product line. But, I didn't know what to do. So I was like, well, I'll just look like everyone else.
Yep.
But the problem with that is when you look like everyone else, you just blend into the background. And so if you want to stand out, you've got to be different. And what better way to be different than unapologetically, unabashedly you? And the truth is, most of us want to serve a client who's a theme and variation of ourselves. Most of us. I mean, there are a handful of people where that's not true. Maybe you have a passion for oncology aesthetics, even though that's not you or whatever. But for most of us, it's a version of ourselves.
Mhm.
And so getting to watch you, it was so awesome watching the light bulb go off in your head of like, wait a minute, I could do whatever I want. And then watching you lean into that and like to see your personality, to see your wardrobe change, to see like everything shift and change was so fun. And just watching now your business thrive. Like you're getting so much exposure, you're getting so many new clients, there's so many new opportunities. And it's really come from just leaning in to who you are and the kinds of people you want to surround yourself with and the transformation that you want to bring to that community, you know. And I think in your situation it's bringing love, respect, confidence to the LGBTQ plus community. And there are not many estheticians, solo estheticians catering to our community.
No,
And
not
so for someone like you do stand out. You know, when someone is in your town looking for an esthetician, you are 100% going to stand out. And so your clientele, you know, the person that would want to come to you is going to see your business and be like, "Oh my gosh, Jenna is the exact perfect esthetician for me." And it's my belief that every single solo esthetician out there can have that experience, of, I know my people know me and we love each other. And I use this term, it's like having your soulmate client, because
Yep.
the relationship you have with your client, it should be like a soulmate experience where you find each other and it's like, oh, I want to be in your life, or I want you to be in my life forever. You know, that's how I feel about, you know, my service providers. Like when I find the right one, like that's it, search is over, we're done, this is it, we're married, we're gonna die next to each other, done.
Yeah, I always tell people, I'm like, if you're not super stoked to see everyone on your books for that day, like you're doing something wrong. Like something is not
Exactly.
right. Like I get to look at my appointment book and every day and be like, I'm so fucking excited for today. I'm so excited to catch up
Yes.
with XYZ, you know, like it's such a awesome feeling once you're able to get to that space. And
Yes.
for some people, it takes longer. Some people, it takes a shorter amount of time. For me, it took a little bit longer, but I mean, I haven't had to fire a client. I feel like the fact that I am so confidently myself already deters away people that don't
Yes.
jive with me. Like they're not going to
That's
look
a
at.
wonderful point.
Mm.
But that's a really good point, because so many solo estheticians think, oh, anyone with skin or anyone with hair, that's my client. And that's just absolutely not true.
Yep.
And for someone to say, to like look at your business and be like, ugh, no, like that's not my esthetician, that's perfect. Like you want that, because that's going to open up space in your schedule for the right person. Because there are people that will find you and be like, 100% yes, you're my girl.
Yep,
You're my
exactly.
person.
It's such a, I don't even know how to describe it. Like, it's just such an awesome feeling. Like, being able to, I don't know, like, have your people find you. Like, you're building your own community. And like you
Yes.
said, like, everyone who, like, everyone is able to do this. They can absolutely do this, but they have to be themselves. They need to not be like, keeping up with the Joneses, or just trying to be like, oh, this
Yeah.
is what she does down the street, or this is what European Wax Center does. Like you have to be so comfortable in yourself and learn what makes you different, and almost, I mean, treat, I don't know, I tell people like they need to go through their treatment room as if they were a client. Like, how do you
Oh,
feel in
yeah.
there? What makes it stand out, and really hone in on those things. And yeah, it's going to take some time for clients to come to you, but once they do, like the referrals start coming in, and referrals are the best too, because it's like, oh, if I see you and you recommend your best friend, like I already know we're going to vibe. I'm not going to be worried that we're not going to have, you know, opposing views on things or whatever, you know, like you're going to find your people
Yeah.
will eventually find you. It's such a energetically aligned thing too that happens. And it's a beautiful experience.
It is. And that's the benefit of marketing your soulmate client. So when you're bringing in that perfect person, so it just makes sense that that perfect person, their friends are probably still going to be your perfect person. So when you're marketing towards your soulmate client, it actually makes the word of mouth marketing just take off like wildfire.
Hmm.
So, and that's the kind of marketing that will always win out. Always. It doesn't matter if you've created the most amazing reel or you've got a good promo or something. If your best friend tells you, "Oh my God, you have to go to Jenna. She is the absolute best." Like
Hmm.
I hands down, bar none. You're going to listen to your best friend. It
Yeah.
doesn't matter any other thing. You're always going to listen to your best friend.
And that's how I grew my Brazilian wax clientele. I had
Yep.
originally started on Groupon because I, what the fuck else am I going to do? So that, slowly brought in people. And then the ones that I really clicked with, they brought in their friends, they brought in their family. Like
Yep.
I had a client when I first opened from Groupon. She came to see me. She still sees me to this day. Hey, Carolyn. I see her every 3 weeks. She's the best. She's like, I'm the only person in my group, in my friend group that gets waxed. Like, I've been trying to convince them. And I said, don't worry, you'll get them in eventually. And now I see like all five of them. I've gotten to see,
Yep.
in over time, I've gotten to see them get pregnant, have babies. Like, that's another thing too, is like you become so intertwined in your clients' lives. So, like, if you guys don't mesh, it's going to be awful. You're going to have an awful time. You're going to hate when they talk, like you're not going to be interested in them. And like as a client, that also shows like people can read the room. They can read your energy. So like if
Oh,
you guys aren't vibing, like it's going to be very obvious. But it's really awesome being able to have clientele for so long, and you become ingrained in each other's lives. You get invited to like birthdays. You get to see them have kids, and I mean
yep.
all the life things. And just as with life has its highs, it has its lows. Like I lost one of my animals last year around this time, and like all of my clients, I mean, good God, the amount of love that I got from my clients. I mean, handwritten cards
Yeah.
and just like the sweetest that I still have to this
Oh,
day. Like, I mean, they were there for me and just like listen to me cry while I'm waxing them. And it's such a, you really have such a strong
yeah.
bond with your clients, and that is really what's going to propel you forward. I mean, like you said, you can have a great reel, you can have a TikTok video blow up, but what the fuck does that matter? Like
Yep.
at the grand scheme of things, yes, we are in an age of social media. I mean, if you're starting to grow a business now, I feel like that's probably the way to get people in fast, sure, but people are going to talk about the experience that they had with you inside your room. Like I can watch a video of somebody wax someone else and I'm like, okay, like if I'm getting a wax, I expect to be waxed. Like what makes it, you know what I mean? Like I don't give a fuck what the service looks like. That's what I'm paying for. Like who are you? Who's the person that's servicing me? That's what I want to know. Um,
Yeah. Yep.
Not that I'm speaking for every
Yeah.
client everywhere. Like some people are just like, hey, I want to look like an Instagram baddie, so give me, big ass lashes. I don't care. I'm gonna take a nap anyways. So it's different. But for me,
But
that's just like
but
that's not it.
I think what you're highlighting is something really important to talk about, which is clients are always they're always gauging in their head if this was a wise use of their money.
Yes.
Because it's a constant judgment for them, and we can never take it for granted. Like, oh, they're always going to come in. No, they won't.
Mm-hmm.
We have to be grateful every month. So, we think that our clients are always going to be with us, and it's really not the truth. They're always gauging, is this still the right person for me? Is this still the best choice for me? So clients are still gauging, do I like this person? Is the service being performed to the level that I want it? Is the location convenient? Has it gone hill? Is the parking easy to get to? What about the price? So there's a constant judgment of all of these different things. And the honest truth is, if you perform a service beautifully, but someone else also performs the service beautifully, and they just mesh better. Like it's a better energetic fit, a better personality fit. Your client will leave for the other person.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, that is an advantage of leading with personality, like leading with your differentiation, because it's gonna kind of weed those people out from the beginning, but also galvanize those right people towards you.
Yep. And lucky for me, I look like this and I act like this, so I am a propellant to most. ah. I'm kidding, but only a little bit, you know. But it's nice though. Like if I were to just have like a very basic website, a very basic Instagram, something that like maybe I didn't show my face or anything with me speaking, or I mean anything that showed who I am, and somebody came in and saw me and they'd be like, you were not what I was expecting. You know, like that's a thing for service providers too. It's like, don't be scared to be yourself. Like just show off what makes you different. Like you said, you may be able to perform a fantastic service, but like if somebody finds another person that also provides a fantastic service, but maybe they can tell some jokes together, it's like they're gonna go to the other person. They're gonna go to the other person.
Exactly.
But and it's also crazy that it kind of like at least, you know, speaking for myself, it took some time, like some years to get to that point. Like it's crazy that a lot of us are just so uncomfortable with being ourselves, and we have to like relearn that it's okay. I mean, as adults, you know, it's such a I don't know, emotional and mental roller coaster too.
Yeah.
When it comes to that, and I don't know, even just all the personal development that has happened for me over the last 3 years is just astronomical. Like I don't even know the girl that opened that salon 3 years ago. I don't know her. No, she's dead. She's dead. She's long gone. Unsure of herself. Like crazy.
You're a whole new woman. That's right. You're a whole new individual. Yeah, you can't help but be completely transformed by being an entrepreneur, because you will be called into an entirely new plane of existence. You know, you're going to have to dig deeper than you've ever had to dig before. You know, you don't have a boss. Like you don't have anyone telling you like, hey, you got to do this by when or else. You know, you got to dig deep. You know, it's got to come from you. So it's really easy to just sit on the couch and be like, I'll do it, you know, tomorrow or the next day. It takes a lot to dig deep and be that person that makes it happen.
And it will put you through the ringer for sure. I mean, like for me, I live alone. I'm not married. I don't have kids. And like, this is, you know, overtaken my whole life. And it's, I don't even know how people that are married with children, like how you guys run a business. I mean, I'm at my wit's end every day of my life, and it's just me. It's just me.
Yeah.
You know, so, and I'm lucky to be able to have so much time to dedicate to work because I have nothing else. You know what I mean? I mean, I have my 2 dogs, but they're going to be fine regardless.
Well, I think that this is something that I am very specifically called to speak about, because it's definitely been part of my journey. And it's something that I want every single solo esthetician to think about, which is your actual day in, day out life. Like I call it your time, space, reality. It's not what you're thinking about your business to be. It's the like, okay, right now, you know, here are my feet. What am I doing? Like to actually figure that out. So I'm a really big proponent of scheduling everything, including like thinking time. Like if you want to think about your business, I want you to schedule that, because it's so easy as an entrepreneur to all of a sudden have your entire day, your entire week, your entire month taken over by your business. And because it's productive, you know, in theory, it's all good. It's moving your business forward. So there's no societal, familial, even like individual pressure to say like, maybe you should pause, maybe you should take a break. Because I think every single day we need to be doing things for ourselves as entrepreneurs that has nothing to do with our businesses. Like if you've got your business cannot also be your hobby. You need to have another hobby that has nothing to do with your business. because it will consume your life otherwise. Because what's going to happen in the beginning of your business, you don't have a lot of clients. So you're thinking, oh my God, I need to grow my business. So you spend all of your time trying to grow your business. And what is that doing? It's setting a precedent that says, I'm going to spend my entire life and existence devoted to my business.
Yep.
That's how you burn out. That's how you grow to resent your business.
Yeah.
And that's how you eventually, degrade your services over time. It's not a good look.
Mm-hmm. Well,
So,
on that topic,
I
was going to say on that topic,
yeah.
You want to talk about how you left your business when you had burnout and kind of like touch on, the declining health and how you had to step away from it.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I didn't know this about myself at the time, but I have a tremendous amount of food sensitivities and kind of other inflammatory things going on, again, that I had no idea about. And so for decades, I was doing healthy things that were unknowingly really wearing my body down. Anyway, I won't go into all the gory details, but I had very little, pardon me, energy. I was in constant pain. And when I say constant pain, if I was awake, I was somewhere between a 7 and a 9 on a pain scale. For over a decade, I was like that. I have an exceptionally high pain tolerance. And so most people don't know how bad it was for me as I was going through it. But holy moly, I look back and I'm like, how did I do that? I don't know how. I'm scared shitless of ever reverting back to that place. Because I didn't have energy. I was in constant pain. My mind, I was like brain fog, holy moly. So I couldn't be in the treatment room. I couldn't do just doing the massage and a facial. I was in just massive bilateral pain. And so I basically became the receptionist for my own business, and I hated it. It was so painful to have to sit back and watch my employees do the thing that I wanted to do and just take appointments. I hated it. And so, I'm a consummate entrepreneur. I had a side hustle at the time going on, and I was growing the side. And I just remember one day just sobbing in the kitchen because I had nothing left in the tank. I had 2 babies at home. I was, volunteering at my little one's co-op preschool at the time. I was on the board there. I was doing all the things, and I was losing my absolute mind. And so my husband, he just says to me, you can quit. It's okay. You could just quit. And I just when he said that, it was such a relief. And that's what I did. I left, and I was at home still for a couple more years in misery. I didn't have any answers. I just didn't have to run the business. I didn't have that stress. And it honestly took until it was 2 more years until I actually found out what was going on with me. COVID hit. I cleared everything off my schedule, and I was actually happy for COVID because I was still burnt out and I still had a huge, calendar going. And so COVID hit. I finally found the right medical professionals. I started, avoiding the foods that caused me problems. I found the right people to rehabilitate my health. I'm not in pain. I have energy. My brain works again. And I have this realization of crap, I can't work like I did before. And so I'm doing much better now. But the honest truth is I've still burnt out a couple times. Nowhere near as bad as before. But 2024 was a hella hard year for me. And I kind of burnt out. And so I guess I'm going to give all of you guys permission that I'm 20 years into this and I'm still making mistakes. I am a 3.5 in human design, but still, no one has it perfect. No one has it figured out. Not when you're starting out, and not 20, 30, 50 years in. We're all learning as we go along because no one has done my business before. So like, I can't follow a rule book. You can't follow a rule book either, Jenna. No one has done your business. You're the first person doing it. So we're all learning as we go along. And so what I will offer you and everyone listening is, if you're going along in your business and you feel like, uh-oh, I don't know if I can keep this pace up, you don't have to. You don't have to. It's okay if you start something and then realize, I can't do this. Like if someday Jenna's like, wait a minute, I can't keep up with a podcast and do, drag shows and do my practice and do, product development and all this. She doesn't have to keep going with this. Like there could be a pause. It could be a permanent stop. It could just be like a season pause. No, you are not beholden to anyone out there except yourself. And you make mistakes and you can course correct, and that is okay.
Yeah. And even, I've had some friends like had to close down their, solo businesses. And obviously it's a bummer when that happens and, whatever factors have led up to that. But honestly, the best part of knowing that is like, you did it once and you can do it again. And if you want to do it again, you know how to do it better. So you don't have to stumble and fumble through all the things that you did the first time too. So like anybody who's had to shut down their business maybe, or take a break or pick up a second job. I've had to do that before. Like, it's okay. You're not failing. You're just learning. At the end of the day, we're all just a meat sack floating on a rock in space. So it's not, like, it's okay. Take a break, take a breather, pick up a second job if you need to, close your business, go work for somebody else. Like, all of those things are okay. It's because we live in such a time of like, boss babe, you need to hustle your ass off. Like, no, that's what leads to the hospital. That's what leads to having to close down things and having to start fresh, like it's okay to take breaks. Like you said, get a hobby. Like I puzzle at home. I read books.
Yes.
And if you do any of these things, if you listen to podcasts, don't listen to business shit. Don't be reading business books. Like, you need to have separation. Go outside and put your feet in the fucking grass. Like, 100%. Go on a picnic. Hang out with your friends. And don't talk about work. Like, just keep it separate because, like you said, it will absolutely consume you. And it's always going to... The bubbles are going to be one. They're going to come apart. They're going to Venn diagram. It's just like a flux and flow of how much you're going to let those two intertwine. But having a personal life is such a, like, you need that time. You absolutely need it. Even if you think now, like,
no,
you may be really young and be like, I can do it all. No, you can't. No, you cannot. Right. And for the things you can do, hire somebody to do them for you. That's another thing is really important. Like, if you have the funds, get somebody to do the things that you don't want to do. Email marketing, social media, photos, whatever it is, or do trade services. That's what I do. I trade.
Just because you're a solo esthetician,
it's okay to get help. Ask for help.
Just because you're a solo esthetician doesn't mean that you can do this on your own. Take my own advice. It really takes privilege to be a solo esthetician. So embrace it.
Mm-hmm. It sure does. If I don't even want to know where I would be if I hadn't have like looked for help, sought out coaching. Like, I feel like I would be stumbling and fumbling. I don't even know if my business would still be a business. Truly, you have to spend that time. But
there we go.
I don't know. I think that's all I have to say on that.
Period.
Period.
Oh, I think we had a lot of things.
You want to touch on today? I feel like we hit a lot of things. Well, with that, we will close out episode 7 of the Emo Entrepreneur. I want to thank you, Jessica, again for coming on today and being such a wonderful human, such a beacon of light in my life, being so helpful to me and so many other solo estheticians and business owners. So I want to
say thank you. Thank you again.
Sure.
And
Well, first,
where
I'm
can the
not going to let
people
you get
find
away
you on the
without saying,
internet?
Jenna, thank you. You have been absolutely fantastic to watch. If every student that I worked with was like you,
Thank you.
oh my God, it would be absolutely amazing. Because here's the thing about Jenna. She takes action. That's what makes the difference. There's lots of people that will take courses and like think about things, even talk about things, but it's only the people that get into action that see a difference in their business. So Jenna like talks about it and then boom, she's in action. She's doing it. She's making it happen. And that is what we'll see the needle most in your business is getting into action. Whoever implements fastest will make the most money. Period. So if you want more life coach tips from me, you can find me on Instagram, Solo Esthetician Love. Also online, soloestheticianlove.com. Yeah, that's where you can.
Perfect. And I will see you guys next week for episode 8 of the Emo Entrepreneur. Bye.